they're a lot different. So I mean, she's just obviously one of the best players in the country. So it'll be a different look for us, another scoring threat. So we'll have to figure out, and again, it'll look different. You know, we know what it feels like to play them the first time, but obviously she's a different component. So
how instructive is the last game for this game's prep?
It's been really helpful, you know, being able to look back and see what went well, what didn't, and you know, what adjustments need to be made. It's always nice being able to play someone, you know, that first time and have that real life, you know, footage from it and feeling from it. So it'll help us a lot.
How just important and significant are these games for the program? You know, big crowd, a big opportunity against a top 25 opponent. What I mean, how much do you look forward to those?
Yeah, these are, you know, every game's fun, but these are fun games, and hopefully we have an unbelievable environment here tomorrow night, and people come out and support this team to see, you know, two top teams play, and obviously Indiana, one of the best teams in the country, at number 6. So it's great for our kids. This is why they came to a school like Illinois. This is why they wanted to play in the Big Ten, to play in these high-level games. So everyone's excited about it.
And how significant was it, too, against Iowa to take advantage of that opportunity when you have a big crowd? And that kind of maybe feeds into the crowd wanting to come out more for more games this season.
No doubt about it. You know, hopefully that sparks some interest of, hey, we really helped, you know, in that Iowa win. And there's no doubt about it that the crowd, the environment, how loud they are, it helps. You know, we need that home court advantage. So, you know, hopefully people will understand that and come out and be here in State Farm Center tomorrow night, because no doubt about it, they're going to be an integral piece if we're going to, you know, have an opportunity to get this win.
When you hear this is the first top 25 game, both teams for this program, you know, in 20 plus years, what do you think of?
You know, it's exciting. You know, this is what we wanted to do. This is the vision of why we all came here, is to get this program to where we all believe it can be. And we're here, but we're enjoying the journey, but you got to take advantage of some of these big opportunities, and tomorrow night is one of those opportunities.
Certainly the girls that have been here know what this program was, but even the girls that you brought with you that just came in, what sense have you gotten from them about how they're handling being in the rankings, being in these top 25 games?
Actually, they're handling it really well. You know, it's just another, they're I think proud of it and happy about it, but it is what it is. And I'm trying to get them to understand, I think they understand that it can all be gone tomorrow, you know, so what we have to focus on is the process and what got us here, and the day-to-day, just trying to be the best versions of ourselves, and that's our focus right now.
Do you guys talk about that at all, or do you just let it play out?
Off and on, we'll talk about it, just, you know, so I can reiterate to them the focus piece, and I also think it matters, you know, maybe not so much for a game like Indiana, but when you go to play unranked teams now, having a number by your name, you know, it's just like when we play ranked teams. There's a little bit more there because it means something when you beat a ranked team, to be able to say, hey, we just beat a ranked team. So we got to be on our game. You have to be on your game no matter what, especially in this league, but especially when you have a number by you, because a little bit more motivation for some other teams.
And having a couple of ranked games under your belt, does it feel a little different that you're a ranked team now? Like, do you feel like teams are approaching you any differently?
I don't feel any different, but I do think, just because I know we've played, you know, in my time, we've played so many times against other teams that are ranked, so and I understand what that means. So I think maybe other teams that aren't, you know, ranked, or they may approach us a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's another game. No matter what your record is, you got to approach it one game at a time and try to be the best.
It seems like you guys have played some of your best games against other ranked teams. Does it just show that this team isn't afraid of any other team in this league?
I think this team is, you know, they live for these moments and those big games and opportunities, and they've risen to the challenge. So hopefully it'll be the same tomorrow night.
Has this turnaround come even faster than you would have ever expected?
You know, I said it, I never really had, even for this season, really for any season, you don't put a number on it, but so I didn't have a certain goal in terms of, you know, how quickly we were going to win or how many games that looked like, but I did, you know, put a goal on how we were going to approach every single day, and the standards and the expectations. I knew what that was going to be, and I believe that when you do things the right way, you know, you get outcomes that you like, and we've been blessed. It's been the results that we've liked more often than not this year.
I think maybe at the Minnesota game you kind of talked about maybe just having some tired legs there in the second half.
Yeah.
How do you kind of work on that? I mean, what do you kind of do as far as practice goes, as far as games goes to kind of neutralize that somewhat?
Yeah, we got to, now that we're in this kind of, this final grind of, maybe the latter half of the Big Ten, I got to do a better job of myself of just being smart in practice. So, yesterday we weren't on the floor that much. It was a lot of mental, film and mental work and talking about things, and then on the floor for only like 45 minutes. And today, I got to try to limit to about an hour and a half. So just to try to keep us as fresh as possible. And then they're doing all the recovery stuff and everything they need to do in terms of keeping their bodies right too.
Is that somewhat a reality of knowing that you're going to probably play the same amount of players, for large minutes every game, and sort of having to manage it the other way?
Yeah, I mean, it is. You guys see our rotations. Our rotations are our rotations right now. We need to get some more production from our bench. The last couple games maybe we haven't, but I know and I believe in them, and I know that'll come. So, and then we got some good minutes, from Gio last game with KB in foul trouble, so that was good. Now, she got some more game experience, and I think that'll give her confidence and everyone confidence in her coming back out. But yeah, we'll try to manage it as smartly as we can going forward.
You talked about just Bryn and how much of an impact she can have. What have you kind of seen out of her the last couple of games? Because it seems to be her best games of the season.
Aggressiveness. I mean, she shot a couple shots even in Minnesota that I was like, okay, Bryn, that's good. Like she was pulling it, and when she's doing that means her confidence is high. And when her confidence is high, she's an elite shooter. So we need that from her. We need it to continue. I look back at that first Indiana game, she only took one shot. And this is a totally different Bryn going into tomorrow's game than it was December 4th.
You win with KB limited, but I imagine that's not going to happen all the time. What's your calculus for foul trouble and sitting or playing somebody?
Yeah, with that, she got those 2 fouls early, and then, she got the 3rd foul right away when she went back in, and Gio was, playing well. So at that point, I went with that, and that's why she played, 22 minutes or whatever it was, her game high. But you guys know we need KB to be on the floor. We need her to be out of foul trouble. We need her to be in a really aggressive mindset for us to be our best.
Mm-hmm. On that note, what sort of challenge they present to you size-wise, both with Holmes and with the height in the backcourt especially?
Yeah, they're just really long across the board. So we know that, we've seen it, and it is what it is. We're pretty much outsized every single game, so we're used to that by now.
Right. How do you contain that balance between Holmes inside and multiple guards that can go inside and draw more guys?
Yeah, we got to give them different looks. We did the first time. We'll double at times. We'll play straight up at times. Holmes is going to get hers, and we just got to really try to neutralize the rest of their players and not let them get going from 3. That's key.
We heard from Adalia a couple minutes ago. She was quick to declare this a redemption game. Is that something you try to instill within the players, or is that something you just kind of let them build on their own?
I think that's kind of on their own, right? Like, we lost to them, so I would hope that they'd want to come back and beat them. So whatever you want to call it, we want to win every game, but especially when someone's beaten us that first time.
Everybody good?